Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay today. Today is a brand new beginning, if you will. We're going to be starting a new Millennium Dawn save. We're going to obviously go for the 2000 scenario, and let's go to the map. If you don't know, I just posted like a community post maybe half an hour ago now, basically asking you guys what I should do, as the Poland save is unfortunately no longer playable. Now that is my fault with me timing the save and when I got back into YouTube and all that sort of thing. With that being said, basically, bear with me here. Let me turn that down so I can actually hear myself think and narrate as I'm giving you the lowdown. So, yeah, we're starting a brand new Millennium Dawn save. And who are going to play as? Now, that is the question of the day. I have had a look around the map and, where do I want to be? Well, I want to be in Europe. And I'm thinking potential for a longish game. And in the nature of fun, I'm going to pick Greece. Now, we all know in real life, Greece has an abysmal amount of debt. Like, they are struggling. Well, their economy's struggling pretty hard. They recently had, I say recently, it's a while back now, but they had some fires at some monasteries on some of their islands. Obviously, they got put out and stuff, but some serious damage to some tourism sectors, which isn't good. So we're going to be playing as Greece. I don't know whether I want to stay democratic. Do I want to go emerging? Do I want to go non-aligned? Do I want to go nationalist? What have you. Don't really have any ideas as of yet. However, there are going to be some game rules we are implementing in this save, which I believe are quality of life changes. As in the last save we did as Poland, we were getting to a point in the last episode of that where we were just kind of getting ready for a war that was going to come eventually. We're kind of waiting around for things to happen. So let me show you these custom game rules. Now, if I scroll to the top, I'm not going to be giving any country any strength bonuses or any weakness debuffs. Okay, just for example, if we were just to weaken Saudi Arabia, that's all of the, if you want to pause the video, that's fine. They're all the debuffs they get for the entire game, right? And you can make that terrible to where they get a debuff on everything all the time, like a terrible debuff, or you can leave it as default, which is no debuff, and that's what we're going to be doing. Debt wars for AI, the ledger, and the historical 9/11 trigger, we're just going to leave those be what it is. We are enabling play-led peace conferences. We aren't going to enable chaotic peace deals, so that basically means they're normal, basically. Optimization and performance, we're going to just leave these as default. There's no reason to change these, as well as focus tree options, flags and formables. I did think about allowing edgy flags, but then I realized this is on YouTube. And if we ever get to a point in the future where my videos can become monetized, I don't want this series to not be monetizable because of said edgy flags. And I don't want to have to go back and edit over the flags, that sort of thing. Allow multiple of the same formable nation? No. These are the big ones. Disabling NATO upon the start and disabling the EU. Now, that brings a whole new meaning to the thing. If NATO doesn't exist, then you can kind of do whatever you want. Disabling EU as well means that you get less, you don't get any of the tax cost bonuses, which makes it a little bit difficult in the long run. But it means everyone gets their own currency as well. We're going to leave the influence on default as well as nuclear rules, cheat options, foreign policy. This is a topic of conversation we're going to have right now. War goals, they are limited, so that's limited by your ideology and world tension limits. Now, in the interest of insanity, which this mod can very well be, we're going to go always free. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to play the US, or I can steamroll everyone at the very start of the game. No, I'm playing as Greece, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't going to be game-breaking whatsoever. At least not early on. And you can always tell me how you feel about the war goals being free, and I will try to keep the wars to the minimum. Maybe add a bit of story into it. A bit of role-play in there. But yeah, that's that in regards to war goals. We are just going to allow anyone to send volunteers to anyone. No world tension. Regardless of what your ideology is, you can send volunteers. Obviously, we're going to allow limited guarantee independence. You can revoke guarantees, leave factions, kick from faction, and take over faction leadership. Coups are default blocked, as well as boosting party popularity, which I didn't know is free, so it doesn't cost anything, no political power. Gameplay rules, we can allow max fort level and power drops, that's a thing. Then AI behavior. So we could go and change, for example, like Korea, right? North Korea default is on Kim Jong-un. They will always stay anti-American, self-reliant, and oppressive rule. But if I went ahead and say King Jong Nam, which means reform and open up, or I can go random. So that's just the option for you. Like, so for example, UK can stay like Rule Britannia, which goes like more empire focused, goes communism, EU, and all that sort of stuff. Sorry, my apologies for yawning. I don't want to tinker with this because I've got non-historical on, no historical focuses, so the AI can technically do whatever they want. All of these are just going to stay default, I reckon. Or no, we'll put these guys on random. Random and also random as well. Anything to do with these countries, we're just going to allow them to do whatever they want. Randomize the rules, so we can basically make it so, like, Italy, for example, might just go nationalist, like at random from the start. We're just going to leave these default as well. We're going to save that, and we're going to override it with Millennium Dawn Greece. Yes, please. And then load that. Make sure we've got that on. Press back. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go. Iron Man Greece, let's call this Millennium Dawn Greece. Very simply. Boom. Save and play. So, because we did hit 300 subs, thank you very much for that, by the way. This is going to be an hour long, so that's why I took a bit of time there kind of explaining what the situation was there. So, for example, just so you can see that this would work from day one, we could go ahead and conquer Bulgaria straight off the bat, which we're not going to. Let's get the audio back up so you guys can hear the lovely, lovely music. Now, let's have a look here. So, with Greece, January 1st, year 2000. We have 318 billion in debt. Our Our debt to GDP ratio is 103%. So we have more debt than our economy is actually fully worth. And what sort of research tech do we start off with? Okay, so we've got a lot of modernizing to do. Holy guacamole, we've got a lot of modernizing to do. We have basic everything. Some boats. 65 transport helicopters. We don't have fighter planes, bomber planes. Technology, we are drastically behind everyone else. Economy, that way as well. Space technology is like not even a thought right now. Like, just not a thing. We don't know what nukes are. We probably won't know what they are for a long time. So, population-wise, is there a way to see the population? Yes, there is. Ledger. We want to go... Yeah, so there's two factions, the CSTO and the Axis of Resistance. We go by population, and then we go and try to find ourselves. We're going to be down here, Greece. We have, what is that, 100 million? 100,000 K? Yes, that's 1.3 billion, 1 billion, 287 million, 126 million, 59 million. Yeah, so we're closer. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've got about 100 million. If my maths even... I've lost my train of thought here. Yeah, 59 million. Also, that would make us like 10 million, right? 11 million almost. Okay, so that's the situation. Let's unassigned divisions. Sorry, it's been a very long day for me. Diehards. Yo, you'd make a sick movie, by the way. Okay, so the main bulk of our force is armoured, which actually somewhat makes sense due to Greece not having a massive population considering it is 90% mountains. No offense to the Greek people. And these templates are god-awful. Holy guacamole. Alright, well, for the time being, put you and you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put you in your own group. What? Oh, you need to go in there, thank you. And then we will go motorized divisions, get their own area, and then we will split off you guys. And you can go in there. Lovely. So we've split the army up for the time being. Research-wise, it makes sense to kind of start getting up to date, because if we don't do it soon, it's just going to take longer and longer for us to get up to date. So we will go ahead, grab 1985 guns, We will come over to electronics, get microprocessors for extra research speed, factory output, 5%, and that'll be done in just under a year. Just. And then we want large scale 3D printing or construction speed. Could be good, but that's a long ass focus because we don't have good research. So large scale 3D printing it is. So we've got some long focuses there. We need to think about growing the GDP. We're losing 2 billion a week and we will continue to lose money. So thoughts. Infrastructure. 2 civs at this rate. 1 infrastructure is going to be done in a year. Longer than a year, actually. Okay. In that case, let's have a look at the focus tree. Not that big, all things considered. That's what she said. So, glass cannon economics, construction speed plus 5%, factory output plus 5%, but cost to change economic cycles plus 50%. We're on stagnation. This doesn't really matter. I never really saw myself spending political power to bump up the economics. That's not what we did in the last episode or in the last series. We have rampant corruption. So you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for the Black Book. This is going to be our best friend in this save. Let me just get rid of the receipt. And where is my pen? Haha! Fooled you all. It's in the book. It's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Where's the rabbit? It's in the hat, mate. How didn't you know? It's the oldest trick in the book. Okay, so title Greece. MD playthrough. Hello, Gita. Okay, so episode 1. We have corruption. We have a stagnating economy. Stagnation. Crippling debt. What else? What's our expenditure like? We're on a welfare state, which helps what exactly? Stability population, extra political power, which we need the political power for now, so we can't really complain about that. Basic hospital subsidies. It's very low. Gita, please don't sit on my book, darling. It's my book for a reason. Extensive police and intelligence apparatus and sizable military spending. So maybe we reduce to it only gives us like 90 million a week. So let's put like reduce military spend ? Welfare state. Let's do reduce social welfare. We've got an election in 3 months. Election April 2000. We are a coalition ? No. So we're we're a social democracy. Communism is going to become popular due to standard of living. Debt crisis. So we can get Chinese investments. All these worsen the debt crisis. We can get rid of like one level of corruption, which would make us more money in the long term. Worsens, alleviates. Is there a focus that gets rid of the debt crisis? Probably not, right? Armed forces. Turn of the century. Hellenic Republic. So, we've got to think about what we want to do politically. Come down here. This is the Greek Communist Party. This is the Nationalist Party. And then we can go Democratic Communism if we want. Or we go down the Constitution, come down the right wing, Metaxism, and then go down. So like some of these focuses do help the debt crisis. So like, look, economic control alleviates the debt crisis. And then these are like war goals. It's like that's sort of like a Byzantine tree. We can come down foreign relations regardless. Hellenic Republic. And that removes the debt crisis. Is there anything else that removes the debt crisis? Their war goals. Okay, so yeah, if we come down the right, we can get nationalizing the banks, which gets rid of the debt crisis. If we come down communism, I'm assuming... Ah, okay. So you can remove the debt crisis a lot quicker by the looks of things if you come down the communist left path, but then you get more... You get claims on everything earlier if you go right wing. So, debt crises early equals commie. Right wing equals biz and late. Okay. good to know. Also, apologies that we're 25 minutes in and I haven't had anything running yet. And if you can hear my cat on my desk, she has a bell on her collar. So, okay, let's go. Turn of the century, 100 political power. Let's not overthink things. And let's get the basics. Small arms, support equipment, artillery, and what do we want? Manpads. Because our main force of the army is these guys. Is manpads, mounted ATGMs, small arms, regular ATGMs, and APCs. So maybe we get an APC line going quick. Your mounted ATGMs, we will need APCs. Leonidas. Just double check. Yeah, APC is cool. Leonidas DOS. Oh, we've got 2,000 in the bank actually, let's not bother. Got manpads then. Okay, we need tech metals. To which I don't really want to trade. Because we will genuinely lose half of our economy. Also, how long would it take? It would take us 3 years to build one office in Athens. So let's stop you. Local construction speed, it's max in Greece. How long is that going to take? Okay, so that's going to be done in July. So I think the players Thessaly and Peloponnesia, or the Peloponnese, will get network infrastructure there. That's going to take about a year to do. Naval dockyards, it's very simple at the start of the game. We just say automatically make convoys. Thank you very much, sir. We don't have a term limit, so theoretically this guy can stay forever. That sucks because he's pretty dog water. But he does get his extra stability. And a cheaper police. We're gonna leave insufficient resources for the time being. And let's get the ball rolling. Shall we? Let's go 4 speed for the time being. And EU's being removed because the EU isn't a thing. Okay. We have a sizable navy as well. You guys, I would like you to sit on the Macedonian border. And the main tank's Albania's border. You guys can stay in Athens. You guys can join on there. Thank you. And motorized can join onto EU. Yes, please. Let's get a general, swamp fox, and a fast planner. Sure thing. Do we have a mech leader? We don't. So we will just give these guys. This guy likes artillery. He's like, yeah, buddy, we want to bomb shit. That's the Greek way, bruh. Okay, so tax. Corporate tax is actually pretty low at 22%. So we get a lot of consumers, and we're gonna put a smiley face, so I know that's good. And then 30% pop tax, unfortunately, not high enough. It's just not Not going to go for any of these. It's going to slow down and it's just going to spend us... It's going to knock a week off and make us lose a lot of money we don't have in the first place. Decisions. Quite literally. So they're all the international recognition. Let's turn you off for the time being and collapse that tab. We have 3 research slots. It's going to cost us 13 billion to upgrade laboratory equipment. Let's do it. Going to lose money on it, but 4 research slots is going to be needed if we're going to try and pull Greece out of the fire. Our groups are the International Bankers, the General Confederation of Greek Workers, and the military. Okay, so the military gives us nationalist support per day. And is becoming more and more popular by the day, which I'm happy with. We're making 1.7 political power per day. And as socialists, we get welfare state, so that's cheaper. So that's actually good, considering it's super high at the minute and we're in a lot of debt. And we are pretty peaceful. 25% extra construction speed per level of foreign intervention law beneath limited intervention. So if we go like local security early on, we're going to get like an extra 25%. It's a book, Gida. You've seen it before. You sit on it all the time. It's nothing to write home about. Chechnya was annexed. Rest in peace. No, Gida, no. Okay. Our party is defined by our ideology. The way we look at the world gives us unique ways of approaching it. So, because we are social democratic, we get these focuses. So we can dig for more resources. If you remember from the start of the Poland save, I believe it was the SLD party gave us this decision tab as well. So if we were to invest 6 billion, we'd get for a year, just shy of a year, 15% research bonus, flat rate. Deal out startup money, that's construction speed, factory output, naval yard construction speed, and extra resources. Now, resources wise, we have precious metals, we have some light metals and steel, and that's it. Like, that's all we have. I'm gonna go for it because we can get rubber, we can get steel, more precious metals. People may trade with us more often. We are exporting steel to Egypt and not exporting any precious metals yet either, so that can help. Obviously, we're no longer a nuke country. Being Greece, we don't have nukes, not yet anyway. That is the plan, though. We will be getting nukes from time to time. So, turn of the century's almost done. Then let's go on extra stability. Gida, it's not a toy. Okay, turn of the century's done. 5% extra stability gives us extra output effectively in the factory and the dockyards. Let's go glass cannon economics and 35-day focus. Let me shut my book and put it down because Gita is harassing me. And as soon as I put it down, she's like, you know what, man? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get comfy. Let's bump it up to 5 speed. Start pumping through the months. For every time we take more debt, it's going to be even more sizable chunk in our treasury. Ideally, we want unrestrained corruption. We would then get an extra 5% tax revenue back, because we're currently losing a quarter of all of our tax, which if we have a look, income from the population is at 25% times 0.672, which is how much? 672 and times that by 4. So if we had 100% tax revenue, we'd be looking at 2.6 billion. But 5% of that, how do we work that out? So it's 672 billion. 1% of that would be 6.7 million. So 6.7 times by 5, it would give us an extra around 33 million more. So we'd be looking at just over 0.7 on the population income. And then obviously we get extra stability. We get our encryption back. We produce more, better recovery rate. Yeah, so that is going to be the first port of call. Lowering corruption. Hello. And yeah, by doing these as well, the network infrastructure, for those of you who are new to Millennium Dawn, this, well, I'm kind of in that bracket, but this gives you like a flat 5% construction speed bonus in that specific state. So that's going to go up to 35, that's going to go up to 35, right? And also, for those of you who don't know, when you max out infrastructure, obviously you build faster, that's just a mechanic, right? You get more resources, for example, there as well. But on top of that, what isn't said in this game is that the higher your population is, the more buildings you can build. And that population is measured simply here. As you can see, monthly growth is 0.05%. And then we have 6 unlocked states because the state itself is slightly populated. So the more people we have here, the more building slots we can build, thus the economy can improve because of buildings, right? It's, that makes sense, right? Well, at least it does to me. Elections are heating up, apparently. And I refrain from attacking anyone. I don't want to do any campaigns because we're just going to lose even more money than we've got. Glass cannon economics, here we come. So we lose 3 buildings. 3 buildings? We lose 3 billion from our treasury, but we get a civilian debt. What am I even saying? We lose 3 billion, it alleviates the debt crisis, and we get 1 civilian factory. Unemployed first, it worsens the debt crisis, but we want to get Greek economic strength and glass cannon economics. That construction speed will go up to 10%, and considering construction speed is pretty shocking at the minute, it's needed. Research slot is available. And let's go plus 5% monthly population. It's going to take us a year. And we've got a 4th research slot because of GDP per capita is over 30,000. Or it was over, it still is. But even if that dips now, we've got 4 research slots. We have a new guy in party. We have Kostas Karamanlis under the New Democracy Party, no coalition. And because we are a Western outlook, the dig for resources, is that going to be cancelled, or will that just continue? Because if that continues, that's a pretty epic play from yours truly, if I don't say so myself. And then we'll show you, because we're conservative, we get extra stability, which is good, and extra war support. So the stability helps off the factory output. If we have a look, we're producing more per day. Which is a good strength considering we don't have that many factories. So we want to optimize how much we're producing per factory, right? So we hold just under 30% influence in our own economy. Losing 2.6 billion every week. Yikes. And then you're going to be done tomorrow, which allows us to go unrestrained corruption, which when it updates will help us. And let's go Greek economic strength for the extra 5% corruption. Construction speed. A lot of big words today. And like I said, I've had a long day, so I do apologise about me getting my words mixed up. So transfer some shopping money, and we are now in recession. Sorry, my cat is licking the back of her leg, and my mouse has come all the way over to the US. So that's that. Normally when I record these, or in the last, I think like the last 15 episodes, I did shut my door whilst I've been recording, because she can be a little bit frustrating, even though I love her. So, national debt. So our government is currently acquiring more and more debt. We have recently hit a milestone. We're now paying more than 10% interest on our current debt. Note to play, once this decision criteria becomes active, you will start to receive events that will impact your nation's debt. This can be in the form of malices or even small boons such as temporary refinancing. So interest rate is 10%. We currently pay 700 million per week. Debt to GDP ratio is 111%. Having an interest rate higher than 10% will give us access to emergency decisions to handle our growing debt. After the interest rate rises above 15%, our economy will begin to slow down and we will suffer from other adverse effects. At that point, we will have the ability to default on our debt at a great cost. Once our interest goes above 20%, we won't be able to manually take more debt. If interest on debt exceeds our gross income, our nation will collapse. So, let's get cheap loans from the IMF, which for a year gives us less interest rate, which is good. Means we pay back less. And this is a challenge, to say the least. Okay. So we could go Chinese investments. I think we need investments from elsewhere to try and kickstart the economy. Just a little bit. So yeah, the Golden Dawn is a fascist party. They're becoming more popular. Every other party is going to become more popular because of the debt situation. But ideally, we want to stabilize that before anything kicks off. I think immediately after getting Greek economic strength, we're going to go Chinese investments. 70-day focus. We lose 3 billion at the end of it, but we get a Civ factory, which is going to help. Let's say do that. Greek economic strength is done. Chinese. Some military factory. We don't really want that right now. Chinese investments, please. Thank you. You're going to be done in February of the following year. Civ construction for corruption. Let's say no, because we need to bump this down. Again. As soon as, really. And we can't really combat foreign influence either, because we had to go into political power debt to take the cheap loans focus. And look, interest rate was at 11%. We took a minus 2% interest rate buff, because that's what it is. And in that time, 15% extra on the jet to GDP ratio, which is a big no-no. Also, yeah, let me know if you get into this point of the video. Comment your favorite food. My favorite food is definitely pizza. And it just lets me know if you guys are still captivated in this 1 hour special. I know I'm kind of monotoning today, but I've had a pretty bad day, so these things happen. Change you to the blue army. Change you to the redder army. The more red army. And you guys can stay purple. I like that. We do have radar though. It's kind of wild. Would it be worthwhile to do that? Get less political power, but the population goes down. Extra 40% monthly population, which is pretty big. Save 200 million. Let's do it. Let's tank the popularity rating, but you know, what can you expect, right? We need the money. So we are Orthodox Christian, which gives us daily emerging outlook, which is Elias Aurelius, which is you, right? Yes, we're no longer in a stagnation. That helps us a little bit. Just a little bit. So just for example, we get an extra 25% construction speed bonus. We get more stability back and an extra 10% tax revenue. So we're back to where we were in the tax rev. Okay, new factory in Southern Macedonia has been built. We can borrow from the ICBC, Commercial Bank of China. Which is a 70-day focus again. 3 building slots. We don't really need that right now, but we do need is the civs. But we're going to grab some extra political power. So we can hopefully change over to the new guns. So we can hopefully continue to come down on the corruption levels. And a research slot is open. We need to be thinking economy. Research speed would help that, kind of. Construction speed, though, is going to be big. So 462 days, that is a long time at the start of the game to lock out an entire research slot. So 1985 rifles are now a thing here in Greece. AWS forms a new party in Poland. Western Outlook Conservative. Low on manpower, but you know, what's new? What's new on that front? Not a right lot, if I must say so myself. That has actually gone up because of the construction speed bonus to a very late January instead of late February. Have him retire, not yet. Not a right lot we can do in the decisions tab right now, because we don't have money to play around with. GDP per capita, though, however, is rising, which is a good thing, naturally. Democratic Party's being re-elected. Al Gore is now the President of the United States of America. And modifying government. Don't want to take any more of those. Tax cost minus 1% wouldn't be too bad. Which is here. Do we increase the tax rate? Let's bump it up to 33% and hit refresh. Hopefully I haven't just crashed my game. Defense. Supreme Court of Ethiopia has today confirmed that the conviction of the Ethiopian communist dictator was illegitimate and has been officially acquitted him of all of his charges. Is he... Oh, yeah, he's back in power. Would you look at that? What a surprise. Definitely not corrupt whatsoever. And foreign relations is done. And let's go down pharmaceutical exports. Extra civilian factory. And we need an extra 100 political power for systematic corruption. So let me just write a note of that. So that is now 33%. I'm just gonna write needs to be higher still. So that's like the population tax rate. 240 pp. Corruption. That's level 6. Arrow level 6. So that needs doing. And then maybe going to tiny military spending. Question mark. We could do that now, actually. We would save 300 million. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll put smiley face. Then it needs to rise again later down the line. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to have to be where I call it for today's episode. If you did enjoy this brand new series, please, or this brand new start of a new series, drop a like down below. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. There will be more every single day. And I will see you all for the next one. Take care and bye-bye.